In the distant reaches of the Andromeda Galaxy, on the crystalline world of Vexilon, the Vexari Empire reigned supreme. The Vexari were a proud insectoid species with iridescent exoskeletons that shimmered like polished gems under their triple suns. Their society was built on rigorous hierarchies, where queens ruled with absolute authority, and succession was determined not by birthright alone but by grueling tests of intellect, strength, and psychic prowess. Queen Zerathia, the current sovereign, was a towering figure with wings that spanned like solar sails and eyes that pierced souls. Her reign had brought prosperity, but now, as her twilight years approached, the empire awaited her heirs. The twins, Princesses Lira and Mira, were born amid great fanfare. Identical in form, slender with emerald shells and delicate antennae, they were expected to embody perfection. From their hatching, they were thrust into the Royal Academy, a labyrinthine complex of crystal spires where young Vexari were molded into leaders. The tests were merciless. Psychic duels to bend minds, physical trials to endure void simulations, and intellectual puzzles drawn from ancient stellar archives. But Lira and Mira failed them all. Their psychic links were weak, flickering like dying stars. Their exoskeletons cracked under minimal strain. Their solutions to puzzles were creative but unorthodox, deemed chaotic by the stern proctors. Whispers spread through the court. "The queen's bloodline weakens," courtiers hissed. Queen Zerathia, heartbroken but bound by tradition, faced a dire choice. Failed royals were exiled or offered in diplomatic exchanges to forge alliances. With the Human-Terran Federation pressing for closer ties, offering advanced warp tech in return for Vexari crystals, the queen saw an opportunity. "Send them to the humans," she decreed. "Let them learn among the soft skins. Perhaps their ways will salvage what ours could not." On the human side, Dr. Elias Kane was an unlikely candidate for guardianship. A 47-year-old xenolinguist from Earth, Elias had dedicated his life to bridging species gaps. Widowed young with no children of his own, he lived on the neutral station Orion Outpost, a floating metropolis orbiting a gas giant where diplomats and traders mingled. His quarters were a clutter of artifacts, holographic tomes, alien relics, and a hydroponic garden where he grew earth vegetables amid exotic flora. Elias had volunteered for the exchange program out of curiosity, never expecting to become a father figure. The arrival was ceremonial. A Vexari shuttle docked, its hull humming with psychic energy. Queen Zerathia herself transmitted a hologram. "Human Kane, I entrust my daughters to you. Teach them, or let them fade into obscurity." Lira and Mira emerged, their antennae drooping, shells dulled by shame. They were adolescents by Vexari standards, about the size of human teens, but their movements were hesitant like hatchlings. Elias greeted them with a warm smile, his graying hair tousled, wearing a simple jumpsuit. "Welcome, princesses. Call me Elias. No tests here, just learning." The twins exchanged psychic pulses, confusion rippling. "No tests," Lira ventured, her voice a melodic chirp translated by implants. "But how do we prove worth?" Elias chuckled. "Worth isn't proven in arenas. Come, let's eat." The beginning weeks were a culture clash. Orion Outpost was a far cry from Vexilon's rigid spires. Bustling markets sold everything from Martian spices to Andromedan artifacts. Elias's home was cozy with soft fabrics and ambient music, human symphonies that soothed the soul. Lira and Mira, accustomed to communal hives, found the privacy odd. They shared a room he prepared with crystal lamps mimicking their suns. Food was the first hurdle. Vexari diets were nectar-based, harvested from psychic flowers. Elias synthesized approximations but introduced human fare. Pasta, fruits, even chocolate. Mira nibbled tentatively, her shell brightening. "This dances on the tongue." Psychic training was next. On Vexilon they failed to link minds strongly. Elias, no psychic, used human methods, meditation apps and empathy exercises. "Feel the emotions, don't force them," he taught, sitting cross-legged. They practiced on station inhabitants, reading a trader's joy, a diplomat's stress. Slowly their links strengthened, not through dominance but understanding. Physical trials had scarred them. Their exoskeletons were fragile from stress fractures. Elias enrolled them in human yoga and low-graph sports. Strength comes from balance, not brute force. In the outpost gym they flowed through poses, their wings unfolding gracefully. Lira, once clumsy, executed a perfect flip, landing with a triumphant chirp. Intellectually, the puzzles stumped them. Vexari tests demanded logical precision. The twins thought laterally. Elias encouraged this. There's no wrong answer if it works. He presented Earth riddles and engineering challenges. Building a model spaceship from scraps, they improvised thrusters using recycled batteries. See? Creativity wins. But doubts lingered. Messages from Vexilin arrived. Progress reports required. The Queen's court demanded proof. Lira and Mira confided their fears one evening. Antony touching in sisterly bond. We are failures, Mira whispered. Elias knelt eye level. You're not. You're unique. Like me, lost my family but found purpose in stars. We'll show them. As months passed, bonds formed. Elias became dad. A human term they adopted with glee. They explored the outpost, bargaining in markets, learning human history from Holovitz. Lira discovered art, painting swirling galaxies with Vexari inks. Mira tinkered with gadgets, her antennae interfacing with circuits. Challenges arose. A station bully, a burly miner, mocked their bug looks. Lira's psychic flare nearly lashed out, but Elias intervened. Words hurt but respond with wit. They crafted a prank drone that buzzed the miner harmlessly, earning laughs. Lesson learned. Humor over hostility. The middle deepened with trials mirroring their past failures. News came. The Vexari Empire faced a crisis. A rival faction, the Shadow Swarm, threatened invasion, their psychic hives disrupting communications. Queen Zarathia called for heirs to prove readiness in a galactic summit. Tests broadcast across empires. Lira and Mira panicked. We can't return as failures, Lira said. Elias rallied them. You won't. We'll train human style. He devised simulations. For psychic tests, they practiced group empathy with diverse species on the outpost, uniting a feuding trade delegation through shared visions. Their links, once weak, wove intricate webs, blending emotions into harmony. Physical prep involved outpost adventures, navigating asteroid fields and simpods, their agility honed by yoga paying off. Mira's tail whipped to adjust trajectories, Lira's wings stabilized spins. Intellectual hurdles? Elias hosted puzzle nights with friends, humans, aliens alike. They solved riddles collaboratively, the twins' creative twists shining. One puzzle, a locked vault with stellar codes, they cracked by thinking outside the box, literally accessing via a hidden vent. But personal growth was key. Elias shared his losses. Anna's shuttle crash, Lily's illness. Pain shapes us but love rebuilds. The twins opened up about court cruelties, their mother's distant expectations. Hugs, human gestures became routine, their shells warming under his touch. A midpoint crisis struck. Shadow Swarm scouts infiltrated the outpost, sabotaging life support. Chaos ensued. Air thinned, lights flickered. Lira and Mira, drawing on lessons, acted. Lira's empathy detected intruders' fear. Mira's tinkering repaired vents. Together, they psychic linked with Elias, coordinating evacuation. The station saved, heroes hailed. Word reached Vexilin. Queen Zarathia transmitted pride. You grow. But the summit loomed. Prep intensified. Elias simulated the tests. Psychic debates, endurance marathons, strategy games. The twins faltered at first, old doubts creeping. We're not enough, Mira cried. Elias's pep talk. You're more. Human dad taught you resilience, creativity, heart. They journeyed to Vexilin for the summit, Elias accompanying as guardian. The Crystal Palace awed him, spires singing in wind. Queen Zarathia greeted coolly, but her eyes softened seeing the twins' confidence. The tests began before crowds. Psychic trial. Link with a hostile mind. Lira and Mira, using empathy, turned aggression to alliance, their web inclusive. Physical. Endure a void storm sim. Their balance forms held, wings shielding each other. Intellectual. Solve a war puzzle, defend against swarm. Their hybrid plan. Human guerrilla tactics with Vexari psychics. Victory. They passed, cheers echoing. But a twist. Shadow Swarm attacked for real, breaching defenses. In the chaos, the twins led. Lira's empathy rallied troops, Mira's gadgets jammed enemy hives. Elias, grounded but guiding via comms, suggested feints from Earth history. The swarm repelled, Empire saved. In the ending, triumph solidified. Queen Zorathia abdicated, naming the twins co-rulers. You succeeded where tradition failed. Thanks to the human. Elias, offered honors, chose to stay as advisor. Family sticks together. Years later, Vexilon flourished under hybrid rule. Creative policies, interspecies alliances. Lira and Mira visited Orion often, their dad beaming. In quiet moments they reflected. From failures to queens, all because a human taught them worth beyond tests. The galaxy whispered their tale. Of twin princesses redeemed by a father's love.